Hey guys, how's it going? Sean back here with Everything REI, and today we're going to talk about Airbnb arbitrage. Coming right up. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome to the show. My name is Sean Pan. I'm a real estate investor here in the Bay Area, and on this channel, we go over real estate investing tips and tricks to help you learn about the business and help you achieve your financial goals. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Airbnb arbitrage. What is it? How do you do it? And how can you profit from it? Well, Airbnb arbitrage is actually a very popular method right here in the Bay Area because there are companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, you name it. All of these great Silicon Valley tech giants here in the Bay Area, and with it comes a lot of business. So a lot of travel happens here in the Silicon Valley. If you go to a hotel in Sunnyvale, it'll probably cost you around $400 per night. But if your company's smart, they'll let you book it on Airbnb, where you can get a whole house for around $250 a night. And that's a pretty significant price drop. For the landlords, this is actually an amazing thing because if you think about how much you can get for rents, here in the Bay Area, let's say a typical house in Santa Clara can go from $3,500 to $4,000 per month. But if you do $250 per day, that's $7,500 gross. Now, of course, there's going to be more operational expenses. You have to pay a cleaner, you have to pay some transient occupancy taxes, and obviously Airbnb fees. And if you're working with a property manager who's doing all this for you, then obviously you have to pay for them as well. Not to mention all the furniture, all the startup costs, and yada, yada, yada. But as you can see, there's a potential for a very lucrative business here. And it enables you to maximize your cash flow in a property in the Bay Area where typically you're not going to see the cash flow returns like you would if you invested out of state. So like in Jacksonville, for a $100,000 property, I can probably rent it out for, say, $1,000 a month. So that's like the 1% rule, where 1% of your purchase price is going to be the monthly rent. Well, if the purchase price in the Santa Clara County costs around $1 million, then that means that I should get rents for $10,000 a month at least, but we're not really seeing that. But with Airbnb arbitrage, at least we're getting closer to that number than just the $3,500 that we're seeing now. So what is Airbnb arbitrage? Well, Airbnb arbitrage is when you don't actually own the property, but yet you list it on Airbnb. So how does that work? Well, it works because you have a master lease. You go up to a landlord who has their property for rent anyway, and you say, hey, Mr. Landlord, let me rent your property at market rate. I'm a great tenant, I have good credit, I have a lot of reserves, I can pay your rent on time, all the time, and I'll take good care of your place. But in return, let me sublet the property on Airbnb. Now, I think most landlords may or may not be okay with it, but some are. So then you get this property under lease for, let's say, $3,500 a month. You pay your security deposit, first month's rent, you spend a couple $1,000s furnishing the whole home. I've heard quotes from between $5,000 and $10,000 to furnish a 3-bedroom, 2-bath here in the Bay Area. And of course, you're going to get nice stuff too, because most people who are staying here are probably corporate renters. They have busy jobs. Their company's paying for them to be here, so they want to have a nice environment. You're basically being a hotel for them. And then you're able to rent it out on Airbnb for $250 a night. So that spread between $7,500 a month gross and your $3,500 commitment to the landlord is basically where you're going to make your profit. So obviously that $4,000 difference between the $7,500 you're going to make from Airbnb and the $3,500 you're paying the landlord isn't all profit. You have to pay for Airbnb, your cleaners, yada, 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 yada. The good thing is you can pass a lot of these things to the customer. So you're charging $250 a night, but then there's also a cleaning fee. So that cleaning fee can cover whatever you're paying your cleaners, or you can clean it yourself for some extra money. The Airbnb fees are a couple, it's also a fixed percentage of your gross, and then transient occupancy taxes is another 15% or so. But if you do it for 30 days or more, then that transient occupancy tax goes away. You're no longer operating like a hotel, you're operating like a long-term landlord. That's basically on how the whole premise goes, but then you have the actual logistics. So what are you supposed to do to get a property? Well, the first thing you can do is determine the location. You want to find a place that's within maybe 1 mile or half a mile of some key spots, like a BART or maybe a big mall or a nice cool area that people like to hang out in, or maybe close to the company that they're going to be working with. Because sometimes they don't have cars. Sometimes they just Uber everywhere, and it's inconvenient if they have to Uber really far away to go in the office or Uber really far to go to the next like spot, like the BART or the mall. So find a place that's pretty poppin', pretty nice. You want to try to find a place that looks decent or is at least cheaper than market rate. You can negotiate with the landlord and say, hey, look, we're trying something a little bit different here. I can guarantee you this rent, and if it goes well, I can guarantee you even more rent in the future. Basically talk to a landlord, make them feel comfortable enough to let you do this project. And obviously you need to save up enough money. So you need to save up enough money for the security deposit. Here is usually 1 month's rent. So you basically have, let's say $7,000 for security deposit and first month's rent. You should have reserves for at least $10,000 for furniture. You can buy nice furniture on Wayfair, or you can try to go a cheaper route by going through Amazon or find things yourself on Craigslist. I definitely recommend the latter because buying things on Wayfair takes a lot of time, especially because sometimes they ship their products from China, and with all the coronavirus coming through, your things could get delayed. So yeah, try to get things from like Amazon or even locally through Craigslist or even IKEA. IKEA ships too. And then you need to find your cleaning service. And this is where most people find a challenge. They can't find good cleaners at good prices. So I actually use a site called Turnover B&B. Turnover B&B is a site that actually integrates with your Airbnb calendar. So when someone leaves, they can automatically ping the cleaners to come through and then do what they need to do in your house. You should also retrofit all of your doors and all of your locks. Get cameras in your house, get a nice keypad so people don't need to find a key somewhere, and then start advertising the property. Take beautiful, beautiful photos of the house. Make sure that it looks appealing. I think the first photo should probably be a photo of the bed, of the bedroom. Just make it look really, really nice and comfortable. And then just offer, discounted rate for the very first few people who come through, because you want to build up those good reviews in the very beginning. Typically, Airbnb arbitrage is a very cyclical business. In the winter time, let's say between November and early March, you actually won't see a lot of profit. You might even lose money because the daily rate is going to be so low. So you might even want to lower it even more just so you could have your place fully occupied throughout the winter. And then during the summer, it's the opposite. There's going to be so many people coming through because of all the jobs, all the interns coming from all over the country to work at these big tech companies, that you can increase your prices, sometimes even double. I've heard of some people who are making tens of thousands of dollars over the summer just because of all this influx. So the summer months usually carry you through the winter months. Ultimately, Airbnb arbitrage is a great way for you to cash flow here in the Bay Area. So check out this method. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about it in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.